This video is a tribute to a dear friend of mine, Jerry Gerasimo. He died about 2 weeks ago, and he was very, very dear to my heart. He was 84 years old, and I got to see him about 4 times a week. And he was a Greek, and he taught me a lot of things. And I'm just going to share one of those things with you today. It's Horta. And you know, we've probably all heard of the Mediterranean diet and how good it is for us, and it certainly is. But one thing that's missing in the Americanized version of that diet is Horta. And he and I would be walking along, and he'd look down at dandelion greens and he'd say, "That's Horta. Oh, it's so good." And he would talk about it being just boiled up and then mixed with some olive oil and lemon juice and salt, and how that was a staple food. And the key with Horta is that if it's made with wild greens, it's going to be just full of nutrition and packed with amazing flavors. So I took about 10 minutes and collected some Horta. And this is just a way to encourage everybody to start experimenting with wild edibles more. This is a lot of food, and it's going to be a major side dish for our family tonight. And really, it took me about 10 minutes to gather, and of course it's totally free. It's going to add so much to our meal. This isn't going to be an ID session. I'm not going to ID these plants. There's plenty of good field guides out there, and maybe at some point I'll do something more in depth. But the thing is that I've always been a forager, but sometimes it's hard to get motivated to go out and gather the greens. But somehow, when Jerry called it Horta, put a name onto it, it became easier, because now we have, you know, in our family we have this word, Horta, and Rebecca, my wife, can say, "Oh, let's have Horta tonight," and then it's easy to go out and gather it, because it's become, you know, it's a dish, it's a meal, and it's not just a kind of a scattered gathering of green things. This is filled with watercress and Virginia waterleaf and bitter dock and curly dock and dandelion and nettles, chickweed, wintercress, all kinds of amazing things in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back inside, try not to lose too much of it to the wind here, and I'm going to put it into a pot. I don't have to cover it with water. I'm just going to put in maybe a cup and a half of water, and steam boil it for about 10 minutes. And then drain that liquid off. I like to keep the liquid. Sometimes it can be kind of bitter, but to me it feels like a tonic, so I usually drink it as a sort of tea. And then olive oil over the top, the juice of maybe half a lemon, just a little sprinkling of salt, and it's delicious. Sometimes it has some bitter flavors in there, but you really start to crave those after a while. Even my 2-year-old, she just goes for this stuff. She can't get enough of it. In fact, I have to gather so much because this cooks down a lot, remember. And you know, I start with a lot here, but I'll probably have about 1/3 of that when it's all cooked up. And she'll often eat like most of it. And she's 2, so if she enjoys that taste, probably most of us will. Give Horta a try. It's just a great way to frame it in your mind, and to get yourself to get out and start learning and gathering more wild edibles. And thanks to Jerry Gerasimo for bringing this into my life. Enjoy. Let me know if you give it a try and if you like it.